Welcome back to the Mental Lab.
Mental Lab.
I miss you. Stop! You be screaming to it and then it's like... welcome back to the Mental Lab, guys. Welcome back, Tati. It feels like it's been a while, but granted, it has been a while. We didn't film it all last week, and for that, we didn't film because we filmed prior to. So it's been like almost 2-3 weeks. We got a lot of catching up to do. Welcome back, guys. I'm excited for this show because we're coming into our last few episodes of the season, and Lord knows we need a break mentally and emotionally because you guys probably don't see it, but this is actually really taxing on like emotions, like for us, and it's just freaking difficult. So we need a break, and so that's we're gonna have a break before we move into the next season. Tati, how are you? You doing all right?
Yeah, I'm hanging in there. Yeah. Living life.
Yeah, I had a pretty bad day today. But before we get into that, just a few housekeeping things. First, trigger warning. So today's episode is about triggers. So trigger warning about triggers. If you get triggered by triggers and you notice that you're triggered,
walk away.
Yeah, stand up, walk away, leave your phone wherever it is. If you're like standing somewhere holding your phone, just drop the phone and just walk away. But really, if you do find yourself triggered by these triggers that we might talk about, that might trigger us, make sure to find some help, find some resources. If you can't find any near you, you can always go to our website. BishopMentalLab.com/ I say it every time. Resources. /resources.
My brain's not there.
Yeah, it's okay. We have over 60, 70 links on there to help you out, all different types of stuff.
These are hard.
Blah, blah, blah. So yeah. What's that?
It's a marvel.
So in addition to that, I want to give a huge thanks to everybody who likes the videos, our subscribers and whatnot, because your likes and shares help our video up higher to get more people and viewers to watch and come to the Mental Lab. So that's the goal. In addition to that, there's some new things updated on the website, like the new community marketplace with beautiful merchandise like this. Support, 50% of proceeds go to Mental Health of America, and then the other 50% goes to eventually making this bigger and better. So yeah. But besides that, that's all the housekeeping things I got. Yeah. How was your last few weeks?
It's been rough.
Yeah. You took leave.
Yeah, I got my license back, which is nice, but it's just hard to see my mom really sick. Because I can tell she's just broken down completely. So it's hard.
I get that. I remember my grandma was going through the same thing. And that was hard to watch and be around. I was like 14 and 15.
Yeah. And
yeah, so I'm sorry for that. As I told you, like, anytime that, you need anything, so you can.
Yeah, that's why I kind of just want to be on my own for a bit, just to kind of grieve, because the cancer's just progressed so bad to the point where it's just spreaded, and now I'm trying to put in a package so I can go home for a long period and just spend the time I have with her and enjoy every moment as much as I can.
Good. Did you get any more information about like that stuff you talked about?
Yeah.
You got some good info?
Yeah, I got it from S1 and stuff, so now I gotta look into the package, see everything, and get the doctors to write something, and so we can get it going so I can go home, because I want to, be down for a long period and just enjoy every moment while I can with her, because...
Yeah.
You're dumb.
I'm telling you, you're crazy. At least that's Mickey. I'm telling you, Mickey,
your cat ain't that loud.
He is that strong.
All right.
He opened that Tupperware dish. I'm not lying to you. Like, I came downstairs, and that Tupperware dish was open, and there was a fat dent of sugar. Like...
Your cat's probably high off sugar now.
Probably. But, you know, it's good that you got a chance to go on leave. I got my leave coming up pretty soon, right after the season ends, by the way. You know, season ending soon.
Where are you going? Disney World, right?
No, Orlando. I ain't got money for Disney World.
Disney World is expensive.
Yeah, it's expensive. No, I'm going to Orlando, Florida, so I'll be there for my birthday.
Jacksonville's where it's at.
I like Jacksonville. I do like Jacksonville.
Apparently, Julian says it's racist.
It is racist. I mean, I've been there only once. It was racist, but I still had a good time. It was racist,
fun. Tennessee or Kentucky. They're racist. Don't go there.
They are.
Unless you want to get jumped by a bunch of white crackheads.
But, so my last few weeks have been rough as well. Like I told you, and I talked about it in the vlog that I did. I talked about like emotional reactivity and like stuff like that, and just how like emotionally taxing life is for really both of us right now. Just with everything that's going on, and I just think it's coming with the weather too, and the climate is fall now. Like things like the weather just comes even worse and just makes everything worse.
Yeah.
But I had a pretty rough last few weeks, but you know, I'm trying to survive through it.
I feel you.
Yeah, I mean, it's been busy. I haven't been able to go to as many meetings because I've been super busy with all my like appointments, my VA appointments and exams and stuff. So that's been rough and taxing. I was in the hospital, for you guys that don't know, for a few days. Probably likely due to my eating disorder, and that mixed with a few other things. But anyway, I got a swollen colon, so yeah. That's terrifying, and I'm about to get a colonoscopy. I'm only like 26, 27, probably by now.
Hey, it makes you feel better. My butthole has to go through the same thing too.
We can just go the same day. We can just do that. They're gonna see the lady and the doctor. She was like, "Yeah, you don't have to worry about it. They're gonna put you to sleep." I was like, "I've never been put to sleep for any procedure in my life. Why would I not be worried about that? Like, they put you to sleep for like a brain surgery. Wait, why would I not be concerned? Right? Like, I'm not crazy, right? Right? Oh, maybe I might be a little mental, but I don't know. I was a bit concerned, and you know, I don't want to cover my butthole and all that stuff anyway. But they don't need to see that. They don't need to see what lies beyond.
Thank you, Charming.
But I always feel better when we do the podcast. Obviously, because one, talking to you, seeing you always helps to two, talking about this stuff always helps because I know I'm helping people out and making a difference and whatnot in the world. So I always feel pretty good doing that. But yeah. So you got a song of the week?
Song of the week?
I don't, honestly.
I've been listening to some good songs.
Yeah, what songs?
Depressing songs.
Yeah, like what? There's this song called No Depression by the Bahamas.
I've heard that.
I wonder if I can find it.
I've been listening to Juice WRLD.
Oh, Juice WRLD? Is that, they make depression songs?
His songs are...
They or a he?
It's a he.
Okay.
And then, let's see what else. Just depressing songs.
There's this band I listen to, Nothing More, and they have really good music. I really wish that they released more music, but they have some really good songs. Like, there's like one of my favorite, some of my favorite songs by them. Here's to the Heartache. It's like a nice little soft rock kind of thing that like hits hard about heartaches and just saying, you know what, screw it. I'm gonna have a heartache, and you're gonna break my heart anyway, but whatever. And then they have another one called Friendly Fire, and it's like, I think it's about backstabbing.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, it's a good song. It's good.
I'm still listening. My family sucks me, that's why.
It's okay. It's okay. But I do have a quote, though.
What's the quote?
Oh, crap, it's on my phone. Wait, I might be able to find it. No, yeah, it's on my phone from the chaplain. So she said, or no, it wasn't she, it was some shit I hung up in her thing today, in her office. It said, it was like person, and then it like gave the definition of a person, which I think I really want to put this on a shirt. But person, and then it was like an original being, something like that, extraordinary and genuine and authentic, with unlimited potential and something else. I know I just really destroyed it. I'm gonna put a picture of it on the screen. I'm gonna put a picture on the screen. But anyway, so the part that really stuck with me was the with unlimited potential, like as a definition of a person, and it made me feel like I was sitting there thinking about it like for like 10 minutes, just like thinking about it, like with unlimited potential. Like I don't ever feel like I don't ever feel like, you know, a lot of times we don't feel like we make much of a difference in the world, or we might feel like, you know, we're just a little speck, or like there's not many things we can do in the world. And when it said unlimited potential, I was thinking like, I mean, like I get it, like yeah, it's trying to hype you up to make you feel like, oh, like you can do anything you put your mind to. Yeah, like that kind of stuff, I don't like that kind of BS. Like positivity, I prefer acceptance over positivity. But that statement with unlimited potential just made it seem like really we have all this inside of us. Like every human being has done things. Like human beings have created freaking electricity. Human beings have created technology. Human beings have created robots. Human beings have created anything, everything. All the possibilities were potentially there, right? And so I feel like it was telling me like we have unlimited potential. Like not saying that you're not going to be the best at everything, and you don't need to be the best at everything. You just got potential. And I thought about that for a while, and I was like, that makes me feel like if somebody else can create light bulbs, then I can conquer some little thing that I feel like I can conquer, you know, the things I'm struggling with, you know? If somebody else can, if like a mother can manage and survive and you know, surpass struggling with like her child dying, for instance, then I can like struggle with, or I can like surpass, you know, like a best friend passing away or something like that. Even like in the moments you don't feel like it, but that's what I think about, and I want to like really make note of that in my brain, the unlimited potential part, because not all the times am I able to do something, but I have the potential to, you know. I don't know. I found it super like insightful. Yeah, I don't know, I just really liked it, with unlimited power or potential. And that's the other thing too, it's not like unlimited power, like you can do anything, it's like you have the ability to, you have to unlock it, and that takes work sometimes. It's not just gonna come to you, and I think a lot of times like I get wrapped up in the fact that I can't do things because like I just can't, and I don't know, that's just, I really liked it. I really wish I told myself I'm gonna pull up my phone before, but around here we use Samsung phones to record. So, hey Samsung, give us we have a sponsor for like podcasts. I forgot to tell you that. Oh, we do? Yeah. Speaking of Samsung, before we kick into our main topic, I just want to give Is that your dog? That was my dog. Hold on. What the fuck? Your dog died? Yeah, well anyway, so while I pull it up, what do you think about what I just tried to say? I think having potential is good to like kind of succeed through things and everything. I can't even talk about it. But, you know, like a lot of people tell others like you have potential doing something or succeeding in something in life. And sometimes it's hard for me to overlook certain things that I know I can be good at, but I think I'm not good at it fully. So it's difficult sometimes. Wow. anyway. All right, so I said our sponsor, right? So our sponsor is Anchor.fm, which is one of the podcast hosting services that our podcasts are uploaded to, and they also distribute our podcast pretty much everywhere, to Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Audible, Breaker, everywhere that we have available except for YouTube, because YouTube obviously have videos and not necessarily podcasts. They allow us to freely and super easily just distribute all that stuff everywhere. So that way we're not like caught up in like trying to figure out like how to do all this extra coding and art. Cause I'm good at learning things, but I'm not great at like trying to put that stuff behind. So if you haven't heard about them, I would recommend you downloading it. It's not just for podcast creators, also for podcast listeners as well, because you can go on there, find other podcasts. There's lots of actual really good podcasts on Anchor.fm that you can listen to. Many different people are on there because it's super easy, it's free. Also, for those of you podcast creators, you can start making money without having like a crap ton of subscribers and listeners, and they make it super easy for people to support you and for you to ask for support. It's just a really good like business or website to help out. They also have an app, both for App Store and the Play Store for Apple and Google. So if you are not familiar with them, make sure that you download the Anchor app. It is free, like I said, or you can go to Anchor.fm to get started on listening or creating your own podcast. I would highly recommend it. I enjoy using it. My last podcast, I used it for that, and this time I do as well. I even looked into other podcast hosting companies and services. Nobody else compares to Anchor. So, like I said, download the free app as soon as you can, and you can listen to this podcast on Anchor. It's all over, and it's just amazing. So make sure you do that. And that's our first sponsor right there. Lit. I can't already growing that just a little much, and we can make more sponsors and whatnot. Okay, so triggers, not gunshot triggers, but hey, I guess gunshot triggers can be triggers too. Really?
Like when I ring your doorbell 50...
Or when somebody rings your doorbell out of nowhere. No, I'm kidding.
I ringed his doorbell 50 times coming in.
I was also outside with Minnie at the time. Like I said, I just got home. But yeah, I mean, gunshots can be triggers too. Trigger. There's all types of things that are triggers, right? What's your definition of a trigger?
Something that highly frustrates me. It makes me want to kick somebody in the head. Kick their head off. But don't do that, actually.
I never understood. I never understood triggers and triggering things until like group therapy, and I think it's crazy that triggers go deeper than just like something like you said that like frustrates you or whatever. Triggers can go so deep as to like have underlying reasons why you were triggered. You might not even know. Like obviously, yeah, like somebody can say something that triggers you to get upset. Like somebody can just all out disrespect you. But there's also like certain triggers that like you just wouldn't even realize was a trigger until you're triggered by it. Mm-hmm. So like for instance, at group therapy, the first day I walked in, and I saw all those people and I was going through all these questions and whatnot. One of my biggest triggers, I think I probably said it before, but one of my biggest triggers is getting interviewed or questioned. I don't know what it is about it. It's still something I'm trying to figure out why I get so triggered by it. But yeah, I get extremely triggered by it, and pretty much what like that looks like for me is I just get an extreme amount of anxiety. My chest gets really tight. I have a hard time breathing. My mind starts racing. I'm at like a loss for breath. I get lightheaded. And it's really scary. It's like, you can turn into an entire panic attack just by getting asked too many questions in a short period of time. And so like that's what that trigger looks like. But there's like everything can be a trigger. I mean, literally, what's some of your triggers like that are just out of this world? Somebody just else would be like, really?
When people say dumb things, it makes me want to kick their head off. I'm like, I can't do it.
Like what? Like splurk?
What? I'm trying to think of an example at work. The dumbest.
I'm trying to think of an example of the place that is the source of the dumbest things.
I'm trying to think some dumb things that they do at work all the time.
Okay, so what about emotional triggers? Like sad or like depressive type emotional triggers.
I don't think I really get sad or upset. It's more like I want to kick your fucking head off.
Yeah, right. Stop lying. You are a tough girl. You are a tough girl.
I feel like if I'm upset or sad, I cover it with I want to kick your.
You do, and that's definitely it. Cause I was like, you're a tough girl. Me on the other hand, them terrorists will start rolling, like instantly, and like for instance, some of my like triggers that are ridiculous, but some of them I know why. Like I like camis, Marine Corps camis, triggering. Many reasons. One, because of my sexual assault was by somebody who wears the same camis, you know. Two, at this point it's even more triggering because I've gained so much weight and I've, tried to not accept it, and I had to accept it by getting buying new camis, right? Because all those ones were too small and buttons were popping and stuff like that. So it was triggering to put it on and think about it and look at it. Three, also, I've made Marines and given them the uniform, and I feel like I failed because I did not make it to finish being a drill instructor. And so a lot of that, like just seeing those uniforms, especially when I gotta go on base on Paris Island where all those uniforms are everywhere, is difficult. It's really rough to just look at. And so it just, every time I see that, it just reminds me. It doesn't even have to be like a fully like physically triggered. Sometimes it just reminds me of how I feel about myself, and that's even a trigger. Like, it's so crazy how triggers can be just crazy things and like the reactions too. Cause like I'll cry. Today, and I'm probably gonna talk about it in the vlog actually, but today at work I had to weigh in. And that was the first time I weighed in since, I don't know, in a while. I guess since like January, but like that was hard for me. Like I've been thinking about it for a while, but just, I did not know that it was gonna be that bad. Like I was telling myself like, okay, I'm gonna go, these are all the different scenarios, like trying to plan it out in my head and tell myself like, it's gonna be okay, like I'll be fine. And when the moment came to it, I was like, all right, I gotta do this. I'm trying to hype myself up. I'm like driving onto base, and the closer and closer I'm getting, the more my stomach's rumbling, and the more I can feel everything just starting to come up. Like I just need to turn around and go home, and not do this. But I was like, I gotta go weigh in. I have to. If I don't do it now, I want to keep worrying about it, keep being anxious about it. And so, it was just triggering knowing that I have to, go and weigh in and my weight. I'm not gonna look at it, but just knowing the way, just that whole energy, plus again the uniform and the environment and all these people, it was just a lot, So I ended up breaking down before I even made it to base, and I was crying on the way, and it was just a hard time. So I don't know, triggers can be just so difficult because even a lot of people don't even know what their triggers are, and that can be really dangerous. For instance, I didn't know that one of my triggers was getting questioned. And
well, that's my trigger.
Yeah.
Holy crap! You keep questioning me, I'm gonna kick your head off. Like, don't, just stop. Like, how many more questions you gotta ask me?
Every time you say I'm gonna kick your head off, you owe me a nickel.
Here you go.
That's not a nickel. Okay, that's not 2 nickels.
There, 3 pebbles equal 1 nickel.
And a nail.
Yes.
Screw? Is that a screw or no? That's a screw.
Screw from somewhere on here.
Yeah, that thing's gonna break. Yeah, you know, but I don't know. That is just, and so one of the days I was being questioned by the nurse because you know what nurses' jobs are? To ask you about what's going on with you, so they can help you out. And I got extremely triggered by that, and that's what sent me to the inpatient facility. Like she was questioning me, and I was starting to freak out, and it just not only triggers, also triggers.
You know what triggers me?
What?
When I can't act like a grown adult and I gotta be asked where I'm at 24/7 from work. It's like, do you watch me? Like you don't need to be up my butthole about everything. Like. And
you're gonna do what?
Kick their head off. I hate it when I get asked 50 questions. It's like when it ends, okay? When I come back, I come back. If I don't, I...
Stop with your keys. It's so loud. Put your keys on the floor.
Don't trigger me.
I see. So some people, so you agree, like some people are more like emotionally like... Or
up my cheeks. If somebody's up my cheeks and I'm trying to do my own thing and they're all up here telling me...
and stuff?
Yes, I'm like, you better back off or I'm going to kick your head off right here. I got the patience for that.
Yeah, what else?
Tell me what to do. Don't tell me what to do. It's my way or the highway.
And then you're going to do what? Kick somebody's head?
Yes. Don't tell me what to do.
So, obviously, Tati...
That's why my marriage didn't work out.
Because she kicked his head off.
Don't get married either.
Don't get married.
Yeah, rough mistake. Don't do it. Unless you want to suffer the consequences and you're going to kick their head off.
And if you're going to, you have to do it in full-on Tati fashion.
Yes.
Kick their head off.
Kick their head off.
Anytime you get triggered. But yeah, so Tati is a more aggressively triggered person.
Yeah, I am aggressive, so don't get on my best.
I am definitely a more emotionally like crying type of triggered person. Yeah, and I mean, and obviously like there's so many different ways people react to triggers. Like,
don't get on my bad side.
I mean, so many different ways.
I'll kick your head off.
There's as many triggers as there are people in the world, and there's probably like 10 times more than that. So, I would just say, if you don't understand like what triggers are, it's hard to explain. It's just really difficult to explain. But when you're triggered, you know, and like I said, it's just dangerous. So one of the things I really want to talk about with triggers are like the root of it, because I think you can like overcome or predict like a lot of your triggers or prevent them from happening, because you can't help if you get triggered.
You can prevent them. That's what they tell you. Prevent your triggers.
You can, right?
Coping mechanisms, they say.
But see, that's the BS, though. That's the coping mechanisms help it. No, I think the only way.
If you do it right.
Like what?
Do your mindfulness stuff right, okay?
Like what?
Follow your exercise. Breathe. Do your 5 things you pick. The senses.
Yeah, the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Smell.
Yeah, so so pretty much that's where you like.
You know what? It doesn't help me. It makes me want to kick somebody's head off more.
What's that?
When I do the senses.
And it doesn't work, and I'm
looking at it like, I don't give a fuck if that thing is green, or if this is rough, or freaking.
That's what I'm saying. Like you just said, like the coping mechanisms don't always help.
Just makes you want to kick.
It just upsets you because it's like, okay, I just got upset, or I just got triggered. All right, I'm super anxious right now, and I went outside to get some air and to think about what I can smell. But the only thing I can only think about is the fact that I have to be outside. Because you just upset me.
Yeah.
Like what? My triggers like cycle too, just like that. Like not only will I be crying about whatever triggered me, now I'm crying that I'm crying because I'm sad that I have to be crying. Like why am I dealing with this? Why do I have to deal with this? And now it just stays in that triggers. Yeah. But I was gonna say but no, you were right. Like coping strategies don't really always help or prevent or stop like your trigger reactions. Like the thing I do think does is like getting to the root of the issue. when I was talking to the chaplain today, because we all know I talk to the chaplain like all the time. When I was talking to her today, she was talking about getting to the root of my pain, and she gave a great analogy, right? So think about it this way. Your triggers, like the things that cause you to emotionally react in some way, are all like apples on a tree, right? So they're all triggers. So you can work all day long to get rid of certain triggers and to ease your life and whatnot by, like, you know, taking the apples, the triggers, taking the apples down right off the tree, and then what are they gonna do?
Throw it at somebody.
They're gonna grow. Yeah, you can throw it at somebody, but they're gonna grow right back, right?
Don't listen to me, my. Tell you I'm aggressive.
They're gonna grow right back, and they're gonna keep growing back, rotten and old and nasty and sour and just not good, and you're gonna keep plucking them and trying to like take out your. But at the end of the day, what you need to get to is why these apples are growing so nastily and bad, and that's at the root, you know.
Yeah.
And so that's one thing about our next week video. We're gonna talk about treatment, because treatment and help can help you to figure out the root of your pain and the root of your problems and whatnot, so that way you don't have to be so extremely reactive emotionally to certain triggers, you know, so that way you can figure out why you always want to kick somebody's head off when they upset you, and you can also figure out why they really just upset you, because there's people who, like, somebody can walk up to me and say, hey little gay boy, some, and I'm not gonna get offended or triggered.
Nowadays?
I might be, probably, yeah, probably.
Maybe it's South Carolina because they're racist here.
They are racist here, even yeah. Or me and a boyfriend.
Landscapers,
like,
you see.
Let's say me and a landscaper. I had a landscaper once. I'm pretty sure he wanted me. Whatever.
They're racist here with that.
I had a really black. Well, oh yeah, that's why they're racist. so, whatever. So anyway, so me and a boyfriend are like walking down like the street, like downtown area, just hanging out, and some dudes like little gay boys and that. I don't know if I can say that word.
Don't say that word. That's me.
I don't think I can say that on YouTube.
Don't say that. It's bad.
It is bad. But just for context, that's what they call us. Me, I won't get offended. I love my queerness. Like, it's not a lot of things about myself that I love, but I love my queerness. I've dealt with a lot for it. I've overcome a lot for it. I have a lot of, you know, I'm proud of it. Calling me a word that you want to call me that pretty much describes exactly what I'm proud of ain't gonna trigger me. But there's other people that get triggered by it, and they can take it out in completely different ways. But I think the root of why I'm okay with that is because of the fact that, like, I kind of cut off all that by, you know, learning about, because if I'm not happy with my queerness, then yeah, something like that would upset me. So I got to the root really before it became an issue. Well, I mean, it was an issue when I was growing up, getting called, you know, gay and the F word and all this stuff. But as I like came out and I started learning to love myself, love my queerness, it got better, and so I wasn't really so offended by it. But I get so triggered when somebody like attacks my character, you know. So triggers they weigh differently, and at the end of the day, you always want to, like, the best thing to do to like prevent them or to be able to predict that they're coming is if you know what the root cause of it is. Like, why do I feel so upset when somebody who told me that they got my back backstabs me? Like, what do I feel? I feel betrayed. You know, I feel betrayed. Why do I get so emotional when I feel betrayed? Well, because growing up, I didn't have my dad in my life, something like that, and it could just go back to that root. And if you can realize, like, oh, you know, somebody who was supposed to protect me and my life and my journey to growing up, you know, and gave their, you know, nonverbal promise, because you had me, you know, you gave birth to me, you know, and you backstabbed me, you betrayed me by leaving me. It can be hard for some people to, you know, cope with that. And so if they don't fix that problem before it becomes a trigger, anytime anybody betrays you in any way, whether it's perceived or real, it could just take you back to the way your dad made you feel when he left you. You know, so that's like, I think a big thing is about predicting and preventing is getting to the root of it. So, but yeah, that's all I got really on triggers. Like I said, we'll continue this conversation next week with treatments because, like we said in our last video, we want to talk about that's good. But that's all I have. I don't have anything else to think, okay? But besides that, guys, like I said, any of you who made it to the end of this video, watch all the clips. Make sure you go check out Anchor FM. Their link will be in the description. And also, I'm going to put that quote in the description too because I just butchered that quote. It was a really good quote. But make sure you check out our website, ChristianMentalLab.com. Also, check out our merch. We got some nice little things on there. Yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one.